Peace Collective. Today we're coming to you with today's message, and it's called Endless Resources, right? Have you been wondering about manifestation and how to bring your manifestations into fruition? Well, the first thing is that we have to be able to see it in our eyes mind. Now, I feel like the collective right now, the collective that I'm tapping into, you're going through a deep integration process into the new version of self, right? The version of yourself that you envision as your ideal self, your higher self, the version of yourself that you want to be walking on this earth plane experience. Now, in that, you've dealt with lack, you've dealt with poverty consciousness, you've even dealt with limiting beliefs. Now, you have done all the work to break through generational cycles, generational patterns. You have ended that. Now we are in a particular phase collective where you are becoming the pathway shower. Okay, you are being used as the example by the divine of what following your heart, following your intuition, okay, following the imprint that the creator placed on your soul, where this is going to lead. Okay, and this is going to be opening up doors. You know, if you listen to my last message, um, there is you there is new beginnings. We're at ground zero. There is different polarity shifts, right? You may be experiencing a move. Potentially you could be experiencing new career opportunities, old relationships fading out, even old relationships ending, and you're in a place to cultivate something new. Now, what spirit has been showing me and even telling me that peace is the key. Peace is the key to unlock these doors that are going to be opened for you, are going to be opened through your action. This is where action meets alignment. And in action meeting alignment, you are crafting this version of yourself that is the version that you're always destined to be. And I know I've been speaking about like the angel and the devil energy on the shoulders. And this is where, okay, which vibration you're going to choose. Are you going to choose a higher octave? Because again, everything is free will. Are you going to choose the higher octave? Are you going to choose a higher frequency, or are you going to choose the degradation? Really, that is up to you. Now, this message with endless resources, for those of you collective that don't allow energies to get your goat, for those of you collective that are staying true to yourself and the version of yourself that you've been crafting, the version of yourself that you've been refining for a couple years now. I feel collective. You've been doing the work to show up as the best, most authentic version of yourself. That version of you is not rooted in poverty consciousness. That version of you is rooted in tranquility. That version of you is rooted in discernment. That version of you is rooted in peace. It's rooted in truth. It's rooted in divinity, in connection with the creator. And this is where doors are going to start opening for you because you are showing up for yourself. You are no longer allowing the wounded self to dictate your reality, to dictate, limiting beliefs. Okay, oh, well, people won't accept me. The world isn't ready to receive you because guess what? You've been ready to receive you. And in this aspect of you showing up for you, now the world has to be, it's a reflective dynamic. Okay. And in having this reflective dynamic, you are also using discernment into what is going to be reflecting your energy back to you. Again, this is friendships, these are connections, this is career, this is even home environment. You are no longer moving out of desperation because you understand that what you put your time, attention, and energy into is going to bear fruit. Now, is it bearing the fruit that you ultimately desire? So, collective, I feel like there's a lot of third eye upgrades that are happening right now. And this has to do with the endless resources message that Spirit has given me because you have come into the forefront of your life. You have come into the driver's seat of your life. And now your willpower is sitting here stating, okay, I want to engage with this. I like this. I don't like this. And because we are becoming picky, choosy, you are moving in discernment. What you are looking to align with is looking to align with you. You're no longer under the weight of desperation. You are no longer under the weight of despair. You are no longer under the weight of lack that any resource that makes itself available to you, you're going to gravitate to it. That's not where you're operating from. This is a complete rebirth, and it may not feel great, right? Because when a child is first born, the child is swaddled by his parents. It has to be fed, okay? And this newborn babe still needs to gain its strength for the journey ahead. And so you still may be in this rest period, but as these third eye upgrades are happening, your spirit, because you've done the work to actively merge, is now showing you in visions, and it could be through dreams as well, that you are no longer just settling for anything. You are taking charge of your space. Now, this is going to be a really crazy vision, y'all. It's going to sound just out there, but this is where the message came from. So I was laying in bed, and a spirit or something malevolent threw fecal matter on this beautiful black and white wall that I had. It had designs and everything. It was, very intricate designs kind of carved in. And so the first thing that I did was get, like, when you're cleaning a mirror, it's like a little squeegee cleanser. I just like throw it back in their direction. And then I get a power washer, and I'm just hosing down this wall. And then I get this like very detailed cleaning brush with like some cleanser, and I'm going and I'm cleansing, the very intricate detailed parts of it. And I threw everything in a bucket and I threw it away. Spirit then tells me endless resources, and I look at the time and it's 12:12, okay? Divine timing, confirmation from the divine. And what's happening in your energetic field and in your spectrum right now is that your willpower is saying, you know what, I'm not going to just allow anyone to throw dirt on what belongs to me. And you're sensing this and you're feeling this and you're seeing this visually, spiritually, again through dream times. And uh, these experiences are going to start to rise, because what's happening now is your spirit is saying, I want a clean environment. And in you and your spirit being one, saying, I want a clean environment, guess what is happening now? Now your spirit is saying, I want something else. See, there's been deep wounding, especially on the divine feminine aspect, where women have not, divine feminines, I want to speak to divine feminines specifically, have had a hard time receiving. That's changing. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, spirit has had to put you in really uncomfortable situations. Because if you're anything like me in the past, right, I'm definitely refining myself as well too. I was okay with very little. I thought it was like a badge of honor, right, to sit here and say, oh, I can make do with very little. That's not the season that you are entering into your life. You're actively entering into an abundant season, but spirit had to make you so uncomfortable that you were finally allowing yourself to receive. And in allowing yourself to receive, this is where you're saying, you know what, the good can come to me. I align with the good. Now, divine feminines, we've been talking about this. Your spiritual gift is magnetism. Magnetism can draw to you ultimately what you desire. But this doesn't mean that it's magnetism with laziness, right? Because you're not laying in the bed thinking, oh, a multi-million-dollar deal is going to fall on your lap. That's not what I'm saying. You are saying, you know what, I am so uncomfortable in the situation that I've been placed in, that I am actively taking action to show up for myself. Whether this is starting a podcast, whether this is starting a YouTube channel, whether this is, putting your business out there, actively marketing, okay? Um, Active marketing, because we know that the algorithm controls who gets to be seen. And you can be so divinely blessed and in tune with spirit. But if the algorithm doesn't want you to be seen, guess what? That's what they're going to control. But there's old fashioned marketing. You can't stop. And I feel like Spirit is saying there's predestined alignments for some of you as you are living and you are allowing yourself to be so present in the moment. Your spirit is now integrating with the reasoning and even the logic of, well, reasoning and logic are the same thing, right? Reasoning, logic, but also this deep understanding, this just innate knowing that resources are endless, okay? There's endless resources. There's nothing that can ever stop, you receiving what you're meant to receive. Guess what? The creator is so abundant. You can go out there. You have cherry trees, all right? You have, crab apples, okay? You have apples, you have mango trees, you have orange trees, you have lemon trees, you have avocado trees, okay? You have vegetation all over the place. And when you start seeing the abundance, and I feel like this is a deep integration that's been happening for quite some time. It's been happening for a couple years, right? But you've been very resistant to receiving. And spirit has had to make you uncomfortable, and not on purpose, to just mess with you, but uncomfortable to wake you up out of the funk that you thought you know, you couldn't receive, that you felt that you were unworthy, that you felt, oh, the economy is struggling. Guess what? We're in a particular season, right, where the earth is getting upgraded. You have two dimensions, right, living, coexisting next to each other, but not interacting with each other. Okay, so you have the new world and the old world. And the new world, you're only going to be able to access it through a certain frequency and vibration, and you've been doing the work to embody that frequency and vibration, and that in that new world that you've been planted in, and you're starting at ground zero. This is where now you're going to see the endless resources are going to start unfolding and blooming, and you're going to realize, you know what, I like this cherry tree, you know what, I love this juneberry tree, I want to go have a flavor of that, taste that. And you can even taste test. And because of the projections of others, because of your trauma, you definitely thought that resources were limited. You thought that the limiting beliefs that were projected upon you actively applied to you. And so you did this whole process of delayering what was false into coming into a blank state to now be able to be poured in by the divine, to be able to be poured in by spirit, benevolent spirits, the good spirits. Okay. And in allowing yourself to receive, the world is going to open up to you in beautiful, beautiful ways. And it's okay that you had to be uncomfortable. It's okay that you may even still be uncomfortable in this particular point in time, because what this is allowing you to do is it's affording you an opportunity for refinement. It's affording you an opportunity to continue to. I'm getting a vision of like you know, um, a sculptor, and chipping away, at the marble. Oh, and as I said, that is 1313. And you're creating that version of yourself that is going to walk through these doors that are ready to embrace you in authenticity. And you're going to have that wounded aspect of you so in check that that's not even going to be vibrating at the doors that you are entering. Okay, that wounded self is not entering into these doors with you. You are not going to see yourself from the version or the illusion of falsehood, from the projections of others. You are seeing yourself from the light of the divine. You are seeing that you are embodying the light of the all that it's all. And you are at the higher vibrations, you are at the higher frequency. And this has been hard earned, hard gained. And I want to sit here and say, congratulations, collective, because in this process of refinement, you have found yourself. You found missing parts of your soul that were separated from you based off of trauma. This is now where you may not be at your whimsical stage just yet, okay? But where you're entering, your inner child is going to be able to be free. And you're going to have wisdoms that particular doors are going to require the elder version of yourself. There's going to be doors that are going to absolutely love the inner child version of yourself. There's going to be, you know, The different versions of yourself that are going to be walking through these doors are still authentic to you, and they're going to align perfectly with you. And the energy that you are feeling that particular day, that particular week, this is where I'm getting like manna from heaven, right? This is where things start getting good despite what it looks like. Things are going to start getting good. So don't don't be discouraged, because I know that this is a season where things can still look, bleak, because we've been talking about ground zero. But again, this is building a foundation on peace, on stability, on being really grounded within tranquility. A foundation rooted in the light of the divine, a foundation rooted in your connection with the all that is all. And as you continue to tend to your relationship with the Creator, as you continue to stay rooted and grounded, this beautiful blossoming, blooming, and becoming the version of yourself that you are more in alignment with and actually content with, is that's what's going to happen. Now, mind you, we don't ever stop our growth here, okay, collective? Because if you are part of the collective that I am tapping into, we want to be students of life. We want to constantly refine. And this is where you're now in alignment with your destiny. And it may not look like it may not appear so, but you have been so true to what spirit has been guiding you to, what has been imprinted on your heart. You know, things have been maybe tried to take you in different directions and different paths, and you're like, absolutely not. You have been doing so much work that your spirit is letting you know if something is out of alignment. Your body is letting you know if something is out of alignment. So much so that you can't betray yourself. So much so that you are being forced to show up as your authentic version. See, you've been able to see past the veil of illusion into the truth of existence. And in seeing the truth of existence, you can no longer go back to what is false. You can no longer go back to sleep. And if you tried, it would be super uncomfortable on a mental level, because you would feel the parasitic energies trying to take you over. And you're not weak, you're not chum, okay? You are not fish food. You are a creation of the Creator. And remember that every single day, every single waking moment. There's endless resources, and your will right now, excuse me, collective, what is happening right now is your will is saying, I want what's clean, I want what's good. And your discernment is guiding you to those places. And you're going to have, I feel like there's going to be, for some of you who've gotten comfortable in rest, because we've been forced to rest for a long time, collective, there's going to be kind of like this, I'm getting restless leg syndrome, where you're going to be forced to get out there. Okay. Your environment may even be uh, toxic to your mental health. We'll say it that way. And again, you are going to be gravitating to what is true, what is real. And this is where miracles happen. So thank you so much for listening to this message from me in spirit. Take care, collective. Until next time. Peace.